Yo, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a review video for Black Ops Cold War's Season 5 update. Of course, this is just the launch update for Season 5, so all the stuff that comes later in the season, we won't really get to see until we get there. I'm just going to give you my full thoughts on everything that I have played so far within these updates, and I've basically played everything that there is to play, from multiplayer to Warzone to zombies, and for the most part, I think this update is good, but it's not great. It's definitely not the best season we've ever had, at least the best start to a season, but it's also definitely not the worst. Starting off with the maps, the first map that we of course have is Echelon, which is the brand new 6v6 map, and I gotta say this map is good, but it's not great. I definitely would prefer maps like Apocalypse or Collateral Strike or Diesel, some of the other maps we've gotten for DLC in this game. But this map, I think, is still good. It's just the one lane on one side of this map, I think, has this issue where there's not a lot of variety in where you can go. And I've always been a proponent of not giving too many flank routes on multiplayer maps, but this is a case where this particular lane does not have enough flank routes, and it just needs like one or two more, maybe another like little spot around the other side of this lane. And you probably know what lane I'm talking about. The one other side of the map is just fine, but this little side is just kind of this one corridor you have to go down, and you can kind of go off on this little pipe on the side to get to the other side, but it's a really, bad position to be in, and I feel like that lane is just not a good place to ever cross. So I kind of find myself only using the other half of the map, so I feel like that part is kind of just useless. I feel like they could have reworked that somehow, but that's my only issue with the whole map. Otherwise, it's a good map. It's medium size. It's definitely not too small. I heard people saying it was too big, but it's definitely not too big at all. It's definitely just a perfect size for 6v6. Now, if you have people camping, then it might cause some issues, and there's definitely a couple spots that definitely do promote camping, which I would prefer they didn't have, but they do. But I think most players, especially in Cold War, do like to move around, so it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. Of course, they also remastered Slums, and it's Slums. It plays just like Slums. We all know what Slums is, and it's fun. I enjoy it, and I would say the only issue I have with it is the color palette for Slums. They made it a lot less colorful for some reason. I mean, it was very colorful in Black Ops 2, and 3 and 4, but for some reason in this game they just decided to downgrade the color palette a little bit on it, which I don't know why, but I guess that is what it is. And then the brand new 2v2 or 3v3 gunfight map, Showroom, probably my favorite gunfight map of all time so far. Like, I really like Cold War's gunfight maps a lot more than Modern Warfare's gunfight maps, mainly because they just look cooler. But I mean, come on, I love shopping malls, and I think the design of it, not just the look of it, but also the layout, is really good. So Showroom, really cool map. And obviously the other two maps, Drive and Zoo, we haven't got to play yet. That's going to be coming later in the season. But as a whole, the maps for this update, the new one's good, Remaster's a good one, and the gunfight's a good one, so definitely no complaints there. And then we have the brand new game mode Double Agent, which so far is one of the funnest modes in Call of Duty history. Now, it's obviously a party mode, and I really hope this thing returns for future games, because oh my god, is it a perfect idea. Obviously, it's only made because of Among Us. We all know it is completely inspired by Among Us, and that's not a bad thing, because Among Us is a pretty interesting game, and this is obviously trying to be just that, and it works really well. It's a lot better with friends, obviously. It's a lot better in parties when people are talking. When people aren't talking, it definitely doesn't play as good. But if you get a group of friends and you party up and you play in private matches and stuff like that, I mean, this is a really fun time, and I would go as far as to say they can do a lot more with this mode in the future, and I hope it stays around. I hope it's not a limited time thing, because they actually did a pretty damn good job with it. So if you don't know what this mode is, like I said, it's literally Among Us. There's a couple of, well, you don't call them imposters in this game, you call them double agents or whatever, and they have different objectives that they have to do. And obviously, just like Among Us, these guys have to go do things, and they kind of want to pretend like they're not, the double agent, and they can kind of take out people and such from behind. And what's cool about it is that you can't just light up your team, and this is what everyone thought people were going to do, because they were like, oh, this mode's going to suck because everyone's just going to shoot everyone. They're obviously not going to do anything, and they're not going to like actually play the mode seriously. But if you shoot a teammate and it's not a double agent, it ends up actually killing you. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, okay, you actually want to make sure you're only shooting the double agent. There's consequences if it's not the double agent. So you actually want to do some research, because there's different clues and stuff you can find around the map to help you figure out who the double agent is. Or you can literally see them shoot somebody if you find them do it. Or you can see the red dot on the minimap at some points if they have radars. It's a really cool mode how it's all laid out. And of course also the operatives, I believe they call them, have also different objectives that they have to do, just like Among Us where they have different objectives. I love this idea for a mode, and again, I hope they keep it going and maybe they can do more stuff with it, because it's a really cool idea. And as for the brand new guns, we of course have the EM2 AR, as well as the TEC-9 SMG. There's also a cane melee weapon, and the Marshall's coming in season, but obviously we don't have the Marshall yet. Really excited for that one. For the EM2 AR, it's a pretty good AR. There's really not much to talk about it. It's a pretty solid AR. It's probably one of the best ARs in the game, actually. We kind of notice a pattern every time they add a new AR. It seems to be one of the best ones, other than the C58. That one was straight garbage. But the EM2, it's a pretty damn good AR. I don't think it's overpowered or anything, but it's definitely really good in a lot of different scenarios, and I'm definitely going to be rocking it a lot for future games. I'm glad they added this because it looks a lot different than any other AR in the game, so it's good that they're giving us some diversity in our weapons, so we're not, using the same exact weapons throughout the game. We have a lot of guns to play with in Cold War now, which is really great. I would love to have seen some more classic weapons return. Like I said, I wanted to see the STG return. I would have liked to have seen a more Black Ops 1 accurate Galil, because of course we have some weapons that are based off of the Galil in this game, like the Farah is based off of the Galil, I believe. But seeing guns like this we've never seen before, pretty damn cool. And then you have the TEC-9 SMG, which is by far one of the coolest SMGs in the game because it's so different. It's a semi-automatic SMG at default, and it's pretty meh when it's semi-auto. It does its job, but it's not that great. But when you put the burst fire, you put the full auto, it makes it a lot better and it's a lot more fun to use. And I like how you have these 3 different modes based on the attachments that you use, because there's a lot of different variety in these different options you can have with this weapon. And it's really cool because it's got different attachments than other weapons in the game, which I think we need more of in this game. I want more weapons that have diverse, different attachments than other guns in the game to kind of just spice it up a little bit. And I really wish you could also dual wield these things, because of course on the main cover art for Season 5, you have the main character Kisune, I think's her name. I don't fucking know. She has dual wielded TEC-9s, and that would have been cool if we could have dual wielded them, but they didn't let us do that, unfortunately. But it's still a cool gun. I'm definitely glad that they added these 2 weapons because they pretty well fit into the game nicely. Then we have the flamethrower score streak. This thing is garbage. I'm not even going to talk about it because it is one of the worst streaks in the game, but it's also really easy to get, so I guess it makes sense. It's kind of balanced in that way because it's really quick to get. It's only like 1500 score, but it's terrible. Probably one of the worst score streaks I've ever used. If anyone is using Flak Jacket, you're not going to kill them. Unless they're just really bad, you're probably not going to kill them. So I'm not a fan of this thing at all, but again, it's pretty easy to earn, so it's not that big of a deal. Now, when it comes to zombies, we didn't get a lot for this season, but that's okay because we just got Mauer Toten recently, so I wasn't too upset that we didn't get that much for zombies here. We have a brand new Outbreak region, which is Collateral, and by far is it the best region for Outbreak thus far. I'm not a big fan of Outbreak, but I do enjoy it from time to time, and Collateral is the best region. It's the best looking region, it's the most compact, so it's not too wide open, doesn't take like a year to get across it. And it's got just some of the funnest locations and stuff to mess around in. So I really do like Collateral. I think it's a great addition to this game. I hope they add other combined arms maps to Outbreak. I would love to see like Crossroads, as well as, I don't think they would do this, but imagine Armada in Outbreak. I mean, you might be like, oh, how the hell would that work? They could find a way to make it work. This is Treyarch we're talking about. They could easily find a way to make it work. Just think about it for a little bit, like for example, the escort mission where you have to escort the little drone thing to one side of the map. They can make it so it can take zip lines if they really want to. They attach it to the zip line and goes over to the other boat or whatever. They could figure it out, I'm sure. They could have some stuff in the water. They could have Orda walking around the water if he decides to spawn there. I think they could make it work. And how cool would it be if it was like dark out on Armada and the waves were pushing a little bit and it was a little stormy out? Oh my god, I'm getting excited thinking about it. Armada is a cool map in multiplayer. I would love to see that come into Outbreak at some point, but I really doubt it will. But I'm just saying it'd be really damn cool. That's all I'm saying. We also have the tank added to Outbreak, which is pretty cool. I was trying to take out Orda with it, and it was kind of fun, but it wasn't that effective against Orda, to be honest. So, but it's still fun. I think it's a nice addition to Outbreak. It's really slow, obviously. I still think Outbreak needs a lot of work to be a lot better, but this is definitely some cool additions. You also have the grapple gun that was added, which again, another cool addition. Brand new perk, Death Perception. Not really much to talk about with it. It's just a decent perk. It's just like it was in Black Ops 4, but with a bunch of different things to it, like you can do better armor penetration against enemies that have armor, so that's going to be good against a lot of bosses, of course. It also gives you more salvage drops, which is great because salvage is something that's very necessary within Cold War Zombies. Obviously, you want to be, upgrading your weapons as much as possible, so salvage drops are huge. Of course, they also added the Tesla Storm field upgrade, which again, just like Death Perception, it's not really anything that special, but it's also not bad either. It's just kind of there, and it's a fun addition to Zombies just to give us some more content to mess around with. And also for Warzone, there's really not much there. There's not much to talk about with Warzone because they didn't really add much. They added some new mobile broadcast stations around the map, which aren't all that exciting. There's a new game mode coming later on. There's some new perks they added, and there's a brand new gulag, which is, of course, like the Rush gulag. That's just it. A Warzone didn't get much for this season, unfortunately, and the reason why that is, to me, the reason why I think that is because they're adding a brand new map, right? They're adding a brand new map for Warzone's launch. We've all been hearing the leaks, and I don't think they really care about Verdansk anymore. They're kind of giving up on Verdansk finally, which is good and bad because I don't like Verdansk that much. I would like to see a change of pace with a brand new map, but at the same time, it's like Verdansk is special in a way that's like they worked on it a lot, right? This studio put a lot of effort into it. And for the map to just disappear and never come back, which is what the leaks are saying it's going to happen, is kind of stupid. They should really do it so it's just a separate playlist, so you can have your Rebirth playlist, your Verdansk playlist, and then whatever this new Vanguard map is playlist. That would make the most sense to me because Verdansk is still there, and just to get rid of it and never see it again, to me seems like such a waste. It's not like it's going to save space or anything because the map is still in the game regardless. It's still in multiplayer within the different game modes, and it's in Spec Ops as well, so it's like it's not going to remove space from your game or anything. This new map's going to add space, yeah, but I don't think removing Verdansk is going to remove the space that it already put onto Warzone itself. So I don't know what their plan is with that. I really hope they don't get rid of Verdansk because this makes sense why they're not updating it. The best update for Warzone, in my opinion, was the 80s Action Hero update where they added the tower from Die Hard in downtown. That was easily the coolest update they've done because it was just such a big new location that was a lot of fun to mess around and a lot of fun to land at. I wanted to see more stuff like that, more things like that added to the map, and they just haven't been doing much like that. Like things that are iconic to us, things that we know, whether it's from popular movies or from iconic Call of Duty things. Yeah, it's fan service. Yes, it's playing off of our nostalgia rather than coming up with completely new ideas. I don't really care though. That could be really cool, and they could do a lot of cool ideas with this. And Fortnite does a lot of cool things with that. Fortnite really takes advantage of pop culture and really tries to do things that make us go, holy shit, this is in Fortnite now. Warzone should have been taking advantage of that more. They did it with Die Hard and Rambo. They should be doing it more. They should definitely be doing it more. They could be doing it with zombies even. They could have a random zombies update where they decide to add a zombies location somewhere, and it could be a small location. It could literally be Nocturne on Toten, something so simple that's already in Cold War, so it wouldn't be that hard to kind of maybe port over the information, the files. I don't know how that works, to port over the assets and put it into Warzone somewhere. I think that'd be worth it. It'd be a cool location. They could have a lot of cool Easter eggs there, maybe even have a wonder weapon in there. And I really hope the reason for not doing stuff like this is because of story consistency, because no one gives a shit about story consistency in Warzone. We're not playing Warzone to have an immersive story. We're playing Warzone to play a battle royale that's fun and enjoyable, right? So it needs to do stuff like this to keep that up. Unfortunately, Warzone this season didn't really do that. I really think they're just holding off for Vanguard because the anti-cheat's going to be there at Vanguard and a new map. So they're like, frick, just get rid of Verdansk. They don't even want to touch it anymore. And then we'll see this new map. So Warzone this season, pretty lackluster, but like I said, I understand why. And lastly, let's talk about just the cosmetics and the Battle Pass stuff. There's some pretty cool stuff in this Battle Pass. It's definitely not my favorite Battle Pass we've ever seen. I do think Season 4's Battle Pass was just a little bit better. Season 3 also had some pretty cool stuff in it too. But this season, it's good. It's fine. I still don't like the idea of Battle Passes. I've made plenty of videos on this before, and I think there's definitely a lot cooler things they can do with cosmetics. Maybe like a shop-like system. I know they have a shop in the game, but like a cosmetic shop where we can use an in-game currency that we earn ourselves. That would be more interesting than a Battle Pass every season, in my opinion. And it's just the way they do it, and we all earn the same stuff at the same rate. I'm still not a fan of that, but like I said, the cosmetics are still really well done. The art team does a great job with them, so I definitely applaud them for their work there. And yeah, that is Season 5 of Cold War, at least the launch of it. So we're going to be seeing new content throughout the season. Very excited to see what else they can add. Obviously, Vanguard is being revealed very, very soon. That is also very damn exciting. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.